Hi everybody and welcome to a new video on Valentine's Photo Paradise. Today I'll be showing you the main functions of the Olympus 35 RC, and I'll also be showing you how to load film into the camera. Before we continue with the video, I just wanted to remind you that I'll be showing you my favorite photographs that I took with the camera at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Let's start with loading film into the camera. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to push down this little lever right here and open up the back of the camera. Just put it in like this right here, so it makes a good little clicking noise. And you want to put the tip of the film right in here. Put it in like this, fire the shutter, make sure it's nice and solid. There you go. Now all you really gotta do is close the back like this, and you're gonna be good to go. Shoot a couple of times until you see the one appearing in the film counter window right here, and then you're good to go. That's how you load film into the camera, and now let's jump into the main functions. So let's start with the top of the camera. On the top of the camera you can see the dial right here, which is used for the shutter speed settings. So you have the options between bulk mode until 1/500th of a second. As we already spoke about, this is the film counter window right here, so you'll know which exposure you're on, and then right here you have the shutter button. Let's move to the front of the camera, and let's start with this timer right here. On this button right here it says save timer. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull this save timer button down, just fire the shutter, and it's gonna wind a little bit. There we go. So this is the save timer, and then you have some more things over here. On this little dial right here you have the aperture options, so you can go from a flash mode, which is 1/30th of a second. You can go into the aperture priority mode, or actually it's a exposure priority, so you're gonna shutter priority. So you're gonna take the shutter speed and then select the shutter speed, and then the camera is gonna select the aperture for you. And then here you have an off where the shutter button is locked, I think, right? Yeah. So in the off mode the shutter button is locked, and then you have all your apertures. This camera is fully manual, so you can always choose your aperture and your shutter speed, and you don't have to rely on any battery. If you want to use the automatic mode though, you do need a battery for that. And then on top of the lens we have a little depth of field scale where we can see where we are focusing. This red line right here is showing where the focus is, and this button right here, this little button, I don't know if you can see it clearly, this one, you can push it in and move it, but it's just connected to the flash mode settings and which flash you're using, and I don't think that it's really that valid anymore. And then on the right next to the lens you have the ISO settings, so you can use this little dial right here to change the ISO. It goes from 25 up to, I think it's probably 800, which is not too bad honestly. And then on the bottom of the camera you have three things that are interesting. You have the battery compartment. This camera takes on one 3.5 mercury battery, or you can also substitute it with a wine cell battery, or you can use an adapter and use a regular LR44 battery. And right here you have the tripod socket, and here you have the film rewind button. So let's say we've shot a couple of pictures, it's just a test roll, so don't worry about it, but we shot a couple of pictures. Now we're thinking, okay, we want to rewind the film, so how are we going to rewind the film? We press this button right here, turn the camera around, open up this lever. See here it even indicates and the direction you have to spool. then all you do pretty much is just spool until you hear the clicking noise, the resistance gets less and less on the camera, and then all you do is you open up the back of the camera again, and there you have your reworn film. Apart from that, the only real thing that's right here is the flash socket, where you can connect a flash to it. It also has a hot shoe, I think, so you can just shoot with flash from the top of the camera, but otherwise, if you have a cable flash, you can put it in right here. And that's it, pretty much. I'll show you the viewfinder and how the rangefinder works, and I'll be back in a second. So welcome back to the video, everybody. Now we are inside of the viewfinder of the Olympus RC 35. On top of the viewfinder we can see an overview of the shutter speeds, and we can see the shutter speed that we have selected. If I'm changing this shutter speed, you will see there's a little needle bouncing. And on the bottom of the viewfinder you can see the apertures. If you're shooting in aperture priority mode, or if you are just using manual mode, you can half press the shutter button and it's going to show you the aperture that either you selected or the camera selected for you. So that's super useful because you always know what aperture you're using. And then if we look into the middle of the frame, it's not so easy to see, but you can see a little rangefinder window. The rangefinder, now we can see it pretty clearly. This is the way you focus with the camera. So as you're able to see right here, I'm focused on these pens in the background, and you can see two images. So what you're going to do in your camera, or with your camera in your viewfinder, is you're going to move the lens until the two images perfectly overlap, like they're doing so now. And now you know you're in focus. That's how a rangefinder works. So would I recommend this camera? Absolutely. The Olympus RC 35 is a beautiful, fully mechanical rangefinder camera that is easy to use and can produce some beautiful images. Due to its compact size and easy handling, it's a perfect everyday carry camera. The 42mm Zuiko lens is more than capable, and I really enjoyed the focal length for portraiture, snapshots and even some street photography. In my opinion, this is the ideal camera if you're trying to get into rangefinder cameras on a budget. I hope you found this tutorial useful and feel inspired to go out and make some beautiful images with your own Olympus RC 35. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.